The best way to learn C++ is to come up with a project idea and build it. My favorite type of projects are video games. In this video, we'll go over how to set up C++ with SFML, the Simple Fast Media Library. This is an open source C++ library that makes it easy to build games, simulations, and interactive tools. It's used by popular YouTubers like Pezzza for their ad simulator, and since I spent an entire weekend learning how to set it up, I figured I could help anyone else trying to do the same thing. Keep in mind that we'll go over how to set up SFML on Intel Macs, but these steps are almost identical to get it running on Macs with Apple Silicon. And of course, if you like this type of content, all that I ask in return is a like for the YouTube algorithm. With that out of the way, let's get started. Note that there are many different ways to set up and run SFML. This is just the approach that helped me get things running very quickly. It boils down to 4 simple steps. First, install Homebrew and SFML via Homebrew. Second, create a main.cpp file with Sample SFML Code. Third, run clang to compile and link the SFML library with code in main.cpp. And fourth, run the executable. It's as simple as that, so let's go through each step one by one. Now the first step, installing Homebrew. In this video, I'm not really going to go over how to set up Homebrew or what it is, but all you really need to know is that it's a package manager for macOS. If you're watching this video and you're using a macOS and you're a programmer, chances are you already have Homebrew installed. Once you have Homebrew, you're going to want to go to your terminal and run brew install SFML. Now what this is going to do is install the SFML code onto your macOS. The important thing here is how does it get installed on Intel chips versus Apple Silicon. All you really need to know is that the main difference between how it works on Intel and Apple Silicon is where it is stored on your computer. On Intel Macs, where SFML is stored is inside of local seller SFML 3.0.1. These are where the actual files are stored, but they get symlinked inside of this folder called user local opt SFML. And basically in Apple Silicon, this has changed to be a different location. So when we run the actual command, you're just going to have to swap these two locations. So if you're on Intel chips, you can use the command that I show you. And if you're on Apple Silicon, you're going to have to kind of swap it with the other command. The second step is to create a main.cpp file with sample SFML code. Here, I've kind of created that file and it's on my GitHub, so if you want to just copy it over, you could do that. What we're doing here is very simple. We're creating a window. We're adding a circle which is of size 100 and is the color green, and we are iterating in a while loop, checking until the window is closed. If it's closed, we just close the window. Besides that, we clear the window, draw the shape, and display it. So this is just very simple, bare bones C++ code to get a sphere from the SFML library displayed in a SFML window. Now the code here is nothing special. Again, the point of this video is not an SFML tutorial, it's actually a tutorial on how to get SFML running on a macOS. Once you've got SFML installed on your macOS and you have the main.cpp file, the last step is to actually link everything together. Here you can see that we are using the location of that SFML library where Homebrew installed it. Now this is again going to be the point where it's different for Intel Macs and Apple Silicon. So if you're on Intel Mac, you're going to want to find the include file. Now if you're using a terminal, you can find this, or by yourself you can go to your user local opt SFML and you're going to see the include files here. And from here, what you're going to want to do is link the SFML graphics, SFML window, and SFML system libraries. Now the important thing to note is that when you look at it here, you're going to notice that we're only including the graphics.hpp, but we're going to want to link the system and the window as well. The reason is when you go into the graphics.hpp file, scroll all the way down, and what you're going to notice is that the graphics.hpp file includes window, and if I go to the window.hpp file and scroll down, it's going to include system right over here. So window includes system and graphics includes window, which is why when we are running the linker, we're actually going to want to include the graphics, window, and system parts of SFML. Again, this command is pretty straightforward. All we're doing is using C++17, running the main.cpp file -o, and creating the SFML app and linking it with SFML graphics, window, and system. And that's going to essentially create an executable called SFML-app. I've got my main.cpp file here. I've ran brew install SFML, and if I go to /user/local/opt, here you're going to see all the libraries. So I can cd into SFML and I do vim dot. You're going to see that all the include and the library are here. So you can see the .hpp file, and you could see the graphics.hpp, which again is the same code that is being referenced by VS Code if I go here. So if I go here and I go to definition, it's going to take me to that same file in user local include SFML graphics.hpp. So essentially what we have to do is run the command to link everything together. We can see the main.cpp here. So if I do vim/main.cpp, this is the exact same code that you see right over here. And what we're going to want to do is to run that command that we just went over. Clang with C++17, take in main.cpp, create the SFML executable, and using the code that is visible in this include file as well as this lib folder, and we want to link it together with the graphics, window, and system from SFML. So I'm going to press enter, and if all goes well and if you've installed everything correctly, it should just work. You shouldn't see any issues. Just as a quick reference, if you try to run this without system or window, you're going to get some of these errors because, again, string is defined in system and same goes for window. So if I remove window and press enter, we're going to get a few more errors because it's going to say, well, I need things like window.poll event, which is being called here, and you're just going to get a bunch of linker errors. Clear the screen and let's do this command. This is the Symlink where Homebrew stored it, and the reason you want to use a Symlink is because Homebrew actually stored it in Seller SFML 3.0.1. However, that is going to be very frustrating if you ever update SFML and maybe it's 3.1.1, right? Like you're going to have to change that when you're running this command every time. In order to not have to do that, Homebrew kind of does the Symlink thing where you could just include SFML like this. So if you ever do 3.1 or 3.2 or 4.0, you don't have to change this command specifically. Anyway, let's run this command. If you've set everything up correctly, it should kind of just run without any errors. And now all you have to do is to do /SFML, and you will see your SFML window with that green circle. Now, of course, let's do a quick little test here. Let's make this red. Right, let's save that. Let's recompile. Now, if I run that again, yep, and this time we should see the red circle. And this means we've set up SFML correctly. And that's how you get SFML up and running on Intel Macs. And now I have some questions for you. Have you ever struggled with getting C++ projects up and running? I mean, this took me a whole weekend. Should I go over how to do this with CMake next? And what about setting up ImGUI for handling user input and passing in uniforms to the shaders? Leave anything related to SFML, C++, or computer graphics down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.